Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be Arts and Crafts Day. It's September, and when I think of September, I think of the start of fall. And so I'm starting to get some ideas for fall decor for my house. As of right now, I don't have anything on the agenda of building out of wood at the moment, but I do have an idea of making decorations for my front porch. And today what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to make a concrete pumpkin. That's Henry. You can see him right there. Shop Cat Henry. Always in here helping me out. Yeah, okay. So anyways, let's get started. So first what you want to do is you want to have a surface that you can work on. I got this little cardboard piece that I just stuck on my workbench to make sure I could protect my workbench, and then I can just toss this whenever I'm done. The items that you're going to need for this project, of course, are a pair of rubber gloves. You're going to need some Quikrete concrete mix. I got this at Lowe's for like 50 pounds for like less than 10 bucks. So that's definitely a good deal. So you need some water, of course. You're going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to need some string. This is just basic butcher's. Sorry about that. This is basic butcher string that I got from Amazon. Very inexpensive. I'll put a link in the description below for this. And then you're going to also need some Panty Hose. And again, I'll put a link in the description to this. I bought the cheapest pair I can find, and it doesn't matter what size you do. So I just bought a box of Panty Hose. So let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead and glove up. Hopefully you're getting entertained by Shop Cat Henry in the back right here, just destroying boxes that we stuck in here that we need to get rid of. So sorry for the mess, but he's adorable, so enjoy. Okay, got my gloves. I got a pair of pantyhose, and what we're going to do is you can make these pumpkins as big or as small as you want. I have an idea of doing a 3-tier pumpkin. So I'm going to do the bottom one right now. So I'm going to need a pretty good chunk of stocking or pantyhose. So I did cut a few earlier. This is the toe of the pantyhose. So it already has a closed end. And then the other portion of the pantyhose, I just tied a knot on one end so it has a closed end. So you can make your pumpkins as big or as small as you want. So those are some extras, but we're gonna make a pretty decent sized one. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut both legs. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and cut, yeah, both of them. And I could probably make 2 decent sized pumpkins out of 1 pair of pantyhose. So let's go ahead and cut. All right. All right, pantyhose does stretch, so you can fill these bad boys as much as you want, and it should be fine. So what I like doing is going ahead and stretching the pantyhose itself. All right, now next up, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare the string, because it's way easier doing it this way than stringing up your pumpkin after you already have the concrete in your pantyhose. So go ahead and grab a decent size string, because you want more, not less. And I'm going to cut about 5 strands, all the same length. So once your strings are cut, what I'm going to do is tie a knot straight in the middle of this. And try to get it as close to the center as possible. All right, so there's my knot in the middle. Now I'm going to hold on to this knot and just go ahead and move my string around to get it prepared for the next step. Now, pumpkins are natural. They don't need to be 100% perfect. So if your string's not 100% perfect, it's okay. You're just making a pumpkin. So, all right, so my string is prepared. I have my panty hose stretched out. I'm gonna go ahead and lay it right down in the center. All right, now when it comes to the concrete, all your pumpkin is going to be based on as much concrete that you're using. I have quite a bit amount of I have quite a bit of concrete mix in my bowl right now. So what I'm going to do is, when doing this, I look at it as breading chicken. If you've ever bred chicken before, you always have a dry hand and then you have a working hand. So I'm going to keep this hand dry and my right hand's going to be my working hand. So this is the one that's going to work the concrete to get it to the consistency that we need. This is going to be dry so I can continuously adding water and not messing up this my jug. So I created a little well in the inside. I'm going to start with probably about a cup of water, and then I'm going to go ahead and mix. Now you probably see dust. Well, I could see dust. If you have too much dust and the dust is bothering you, definitely wear face protection so you don't breathe in the dust. But go ahead and mix your concrete. Add water as you go. Now I don't go for a ratio. I go for texture. So what I'm looking for is I want it enough to make a clump, but at the same time be able to still work and mold if I need to. So it's going to be kind of slippery looking, but yet still holds its shape. Keep mixing. If you have any dry spots, definitely add more water. But you don't want this too soupy. All right, so this is looking really good. Okay, so as you can tell, I can still kind of clump it up and it kind of holds its shape, but at the same time it's still kind of slippery. So that's pretty good. I like that texture. So, all right, so here we're gonna start filling the stocking or the pantyhose with some concrete. So all right, so once you have your concrete in there, go ahead and start squishing your pumpkin down if it's too tall. Unless you want a tall pumpkin, you can go ahead and do that. Go ahead and kind of squish it and round it out, just like that. Once you get to kind of the size that you're looking for, go ahead and tie a knot in the top of your pantyhose. All right. Okay. So you see it's kind of dripping out water. That's absolutely fine. So from here, we can go ahead and start forming the pumpkin. So I kind of like the shape. I wish I had it maybe a little bit bigger, but this will be fine for right now. This is good. Okay, now go ahead and start taking your string and forming the texture or the pumpkin. And just tie it around. And now this, like I said, this doesn't have to be perfect. It's a pumpkin, so pumpkins are not, be careful, not 100% perfect. So, now that I broke that string off, it's kind of a little bit harder to tie this, but we will get it. We will get it. There's a will, there's a way. There you go. Okay, All right, keep on going around the pumpkin until it looks like a pumpkin. Okay, so you have time to work with your concrete because it takes about 20 minutes or more to dry. But as you can see, I didn't use all of my string, and I'm pushing down on the center of the pumpkin to make kind of like a divot like that to give it that more of a pumpkin look. All right. Once you're satisfied with the way your pumpkin looks, you're pretty much done. What I would like to do, see all this leftover water that's seeped out, kind of go ahead and move it away from the pumpkin so it doesn't dry on the pumpkin. Now you can pick up your pumpkin and move it around. If you have a place you can dry, go ahead and put it there. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this one right here. And again, you know, if you want to make it look like a pumpkin, you know what a pumpkin looks like, you just fiddle with it until it looks like a pumpkin. So I'm pretty satisfied with this one for right now. So this looks good. The string is, I hope the string indents right here, because now if you didn't tie double knots like I did, you can always go back and retie your string if you're not satisfied with the amount of pressure it is on the sides. So yeah, I'm gonna take my extra string and do that right there. All right, so hopefully this will come out looking like a pumpkin. So you're done. Go ahead and let this rest. Again, remove the excess water around your pumpkin. And that's it, you're done. So, all right, take a break and we'll come back and see how it turned out. All right, here we are. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, I said leave this for 20 minutes until it's dry. Well, I was wrong. So I had to end up leaving this overnight because when I came back in 20 minutes, everything was still pliable. I could push into the concrete. So I was afraid of opening it up and then everything just falling apart. I came back a few hours later and I actually unwrapped this particular one right here and took everything off, including the panty hose, and it broke in half. So it was still kind of wet on the inside, so I pushed it back together and closed it back up, and I let all of them set overnight. So now that they're completely hard, let's go ahead and unwrap these. While I was waiting for them to dry, I also went through my yard and picked up a few twigs to use as the stem of the pumpkins. You can either do that or you can use pretty much whatever you want. I also have thick rope that I can cut and use that as a stem for my pumpkins. But as of right now, I got these. So let's go ahead and unwrap these and let's see what they look like. Okay, so I sped up that video so I can quickly, not quickly, but quickly for you guys take the wrappings off. This of course broke right here, and I have a little bit of string stuck right between there. So my guess would be to, if you were to redo this or do this, because this is my first time ever doing this, let this dry for a few hours, then remove the twine from the pumpkin, but leave it still in the or you can, I take that back. Remove the twine, loosen your pantyhose from your pumpkin, but leave your pumpkin into the pantyhose and just tie it up overnight to make sure it still holds its shape. I think that would be a little bit easier to remove all the materials so you don't have this issue right here. But yeah, so there it is. I think it turned out really cool. It's still kind of wet on in the middle, or on the bottom I should say, but for the most part it's done. Very hard. And since I'm doing a 3-tier pumpkin, I'm not really too worried about what this looks like. But if you just wanted a regular pumpkin and then add a stem, so cut this to length, and then just use some super adhesive for concrete or for rocks or whatever. You see them, you can get these at any home store, or not home, well actually any home store. You can go to Michael's and get them, and I know you can get them at any box store like Lowe's or Home Depot. But get some adhesive and place your stem here and add some. You can add whatever you want. If you want to paint your pumpkins, you can paint your pumpkins. You can add some moss to your pumpkins to make it, give it a little bit of an aged look. And then you just place them anywhere. Also, I've seen it where you can actually, while your concrete is still wet, you can form a little divot in the top of the pumpkin for a tea light. You can do that as well. But this pumpkin I'm going to be stacking. So here's the large pumpkin. I did unwrap this one yesterday. This one will go right here on the top. And then once I get one of these tinier pumpkins unwrapped, I'll put this one on top here. I will secure everything with the super adhesive for stone. And then I found this cute little twig outside. I cut it in half and kind of banged at the top to make it look more natural. I'm going to end up sticking this here and then adding my moss around the tops of each pumpkin, and I think it'll turn out really, really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and unwrap the rest of these, and at the end I'll show you the final results. So stay tuned. All right, everyone, here it is. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was my first time ever making a concrete pumpkin, so you guys learned along with me. It's very simple, as you can tell. It doesn't take you long, and you can do multiple pumpkins, and once you're done you can just put them everywhere in your yard. You can make these as big or as small as you want. I actually am happy that this pumpkin is a different color than the top and the bottom one. It gives it a little bit of different contrast. Again, the stem was found in my yard. As you can tell, the glue is still trying to cure. What the adhesive that I used for this is called E6000, and I will put a link in the description below on that glue. It's for indoor or outdoor use. It's really good, and you can get it at any craft store or any home goods store. So I will definitely put a link in the description below. The greenery I used was something that I purchased a long time ago at Michael's. So you can either purchase greenery or you can find something in your yard, such as moss or whatever, to add to your pumpkins. Or you could paint your pumpkins, add a bow, and decorate them as any way you want. But this is the way I chose to decorate these pumpkins. I think it turned out really, really well. Again, once you put the adhesive on, let this dry for 24 hours before you start moving it around. I moved it so I can show you the final results, but I'm very, very happy with the way it turned out, and I can't wait to make some more. So if you have any questions, please leave them down below. If you like this video, please leave a like, hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment if you have any questions, subscribe if you haven't already. And again, thank you very much for watching this arts and craft video. And if you have any questions again, please leave them below. And I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks.